Tuesday off, we made that a Findlay-focused practice, which is hard to do because we've spent our last 4 practices preparing for our opponent. And, we decided nothing against Hillsdale, but we needed to shore up some things with us to get better regardless of who we play. And I think hopefully that'll pay off tonight.
Well, Stedman Lowry averages 15 points per game, and boy, he really got the better of us. But last time we played, he seemed like you give him just a little bit of space, he can make you pay.
It seems to me that they go as he goes. You look at most of their wins, those were nights when he was really shooting the ball, including the first time against us. You look at some of their losses, including they lost at home to Walsh here about a week and a half ago, and it was a game where he went 0 for 6 from the three-point line. So I'm not going to say that when he plays well they win and when he doesn't they lose, but there seems to be a lot of cases where that's true.
This is a Hillsdale team that's got some really good guards and some tough guards. Badowski's back. He's been back now for a number of weeks out of Brunswick, averages 12 points per game. Nate Navano, 10 points per game. A really tough point guard. And they're just a physical team from the guards, but they're hard-nosed, tough-minded group.
Well, that's kind of John Tharp's personality, and I give him the credit for that. Nate Navo, their point guard, he follows a long line of tough point guards, guys that maybe don't get the notoriety that they deserve in this league. He reminds me a little bit of Tyler Gerber that played several years ago. He's maybe not quite the scorer that Tyler was, but maybe a better defender, better rebounder, plays a lot bigger than 5'10". But again, the perfect point guard in their system because he's very unselfish on the offensive end and very tough-minded on the defensive end.
I thought this going in the last time we played Hillsdale, I really felt like we had an advantage that we could take advantage of inside, whether it be with Taryn or whether it be with Tyler Stern-Tucker, and I felt like we didn't do that last time we played. I got to believe that's an area that certainly we got to go to.
Well, early in the game, we just settled way too much for jump shots. Not just those guys, but really everyone on the team. And they're a team that, like any team, I mean, you got to have balance. You got to get the ball inside, and you got to feed off of that. And then if they collapse, then you find guys on kickouts. But you just can't make a living from the three-point line. And we did that in the first half, dug ourselves a hole that we could never recover from. So, yeah, I mean, I think we have matchup advantages sometimes in almost every game, especially at the 4 and 5 spot. And, it doesn't mean we have to try to do it on the first pass, but we got to have some balance. Hopefully those guys see those opportunities tonight.
Well, it's hard to believe we're already in February, and this is when the chips are on the table, and this is where you either rise above it and become a championship team, or you kind of go away.
Yeah, there's 3 types of teams in February. There's teams getting better, there's teams getting worse who are just kind of folding it in, packing it in, and then there's teams that are just kind of staying the same. And we don't want to be a team staying the same. We don't want to be a team folding the 10. We want to be a team getting better, finding wins, and any way you can get them. And Hillsdale's in a position now where they probably feel like they got to win about every game they play, and maybe that's not the case, but they're going into every game with that mindset. So we got to be able to understand that there's even more on the line for us as a home game. South Division's on the line, first place in the GLIAC South, and more importantly, the next game on our schedule.
All right, Coach, big opportunity. Let's get a win.
All right, thank you.
That's head coach Charlie Ernst when we come back. It's the Chargers and Oilers right here on 88.3 WLC.
University of Findlay Athletics is sustained on 88.3 WLFC by Frickers. Frickers is located at exit 157 off of Interstate 75 in Findlay, featuring wings, burgers, and sports on every TV. You can contact Frickers by calling 419-423-9464. Frickers is also on the web at frickers.com. Frickers just off of I-75 and State Route 12, a proud underwriter of University of Findlay Sports on 88.3 WLFC.
Jimmy John's in Findlay serves subs baked on bread baked in-house every day. Serving single sandwiches and party platters, Jimmy John's is located at 536 Trenton Avenue in Findlay. If you don't want to get off the couch, you can also order online at www.jimmyjohns.com or through the Jimmy John's mobile app for your smartphone. Jimmy John's, proudly underwriting University of Findlay Athletics on 88.3 WLFC.
This is Alex White, and you're listening to Oiler Basketball on 88.3.
Welcome back to Croy. Jason Granger here with you. Before we get to talk a little bit about this Hillsdale game, opportunity us to talk about our GLIAC picks of the week. Granger versus the Hall of Famers. And back at it one more time is Chuck Daniels, 97 graduate of the University of Findlay and won the Hall of Fame in 2013. And I am way behind. I am 8 games behind the Hall of Famers. Make that 6 games behind, so maybe not as bad as I thought I was. And we'll go ahead and start. Lake Superior State hosts Northern Michigan. Both Chuck and myself will take the Lakers. Saginaw Valley, who started the season on fire and was the number 1 team in the nation, has just completely fallen off the table. Saginaw Valley at Ferris State, who's the hottest team in the entire region. Chuck and myself will both take the Bulldogs. Michigan Tech at Northwood. The Huskies, always good on Thursday. Michigan Tech is the pick for the Hall of Famer and myself. And then a little disagreement here. Tiffin at Lake Erie College. I'll take the Storm as they got a big win on Saturday, and we'll see if they can keep some momentum going against the Dragons. Chuck will take Tiffin. Another disagreement and an opportunity for me would be Ashland traveling to ODU, and maybe this is just because Oilers need Ashland to go down. They're right on our tails. Chuck will take the Eagles. I'll take ODU, always very good at home. And then the final game in the GLIAC tonight will be Grand Valley State at Wayne State. Both of us going to take the Warriors. So those are our GLIAC picks of the week with the Hall of Famer Chuck Daniels up against me, Hall of Famers with a 6-game lead. Well, time to take a look at this Hillsdale Charger team and long-standing series with the Chargers. Oilers own a 49-9 advantage in the all-time series against Hillsdale, but don't be fooled. Here recently, the Chargers, really since John Thorpe largely has been hired, they've come back with a vengeance a little bit and certainly took it to the Oilers last time up at Hillsdale. And we'll talk a little bit about that game. Martise Kimbrough, the only player in double figures for the Oilers, had 20 points. Other than that, just wasn't a whole lot to talk about. You got to give a lot of credit to Hillsdale as a couple of players. Nate Nauvoo, a 5'10" guard, had a double-double that day. 23 points, 12 rebounds, and he was really the engine that made Hillsdale go all day long. Stemmen Lowry had 19 points. Seemed like every time they needed a big shot, Stemmen Lowry is there to make the play. Nick Archer and Rhett Smith really beat us up inside. And then add to that was the first game that Ryan Badowski came back. 9.6 rebounds there. And Hillsdale, that kind of turned their season around, that win over Findlay. Since then, both teams have been on quite a good run here, and we should have a great game here today. Findlay 16-5 coming in the game. Hillsdale 10-10. Well, it's time to step aside for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll have the tip on the home of the Oilers, 88.3 WLC.
Keats Dugout at 3112 North Main Street in Findlay is happy to support Oiler Athletics on 88.3 WLFC. Keats Dugout provides lunches to go, and the menu features items like breaded and shredded chicken, coney dogs, and more. Keats Dugout can be reached by calling 419-423-7911. That's 419-423-7911. Keats Dugout, a proud underwriter of University of Findlay Athletics on 88.3 WLFC. Kirk Chiropractic is committed to your health and wellness and is happy to support University of Findlay Athletics on 88.3 WLFC. Kirk Chiropractic may be able to relieve your tension headaches through chiropractic care. You can reach Kirk Chiropractic at kirkchiro.com. That's Kirk, CHIRO.com. Or by calling 419-425-9798. Located at 116 West Lima Avenue in Findlay, Kirk Chiropractic is a proud sponsor of the Orange and Black on 88.3 WLFC.
Oiler Athletics on 88.3 WLFC is underwritten in part by KT Equipment Rental. Located at 835 Western Avenue in Findlay, KT Equipment Rental has been your locally owned and operated rental service for over 45 years. KT Equipment Rental is your local dealer for steel outdoor power equipment. They can be reached at 419-422-4549. You can also go online to ktequipmentrental.com. KT Equipment Rental, a proud sponsor of University of Findlay Athletics on 88.3 WLFC.
Hey, this is Terrence Sullivan, and you're listening to Oiler Basketball on 88.3.
Welcome back to Croy. Jason Granger here with you. I want to welcome in our audience from Hillsdale, WCSR Radio in Hillsdale.
And welcome out to Croy Gymnasium, round 2 for the men's basketball team going up against the Hillsdale Chargers. Let's start off with some starting lineups. Ryan Badowski, guard, junior, 6'3", 185 pounds from Brunswick, Ohio. Nate Neveu, a guard from sophomore, 5'10", 170. Nevue from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Then you got number 5, Stedman Lowry. He's a junior, 6'3", from Liberty Township, Ohio. Number 15, Nick Archer. He is a 6'7", 225 pounds. Actually, 6'8", 240 from Columbus, Ohio. And then you got Rhett Smith from Sullivan, Indiana, 6'7", 225 pounds. Now on the other side, we take at the Oilers men's basketball team, where starting is number 5, Terrence Sullivan, 6'6", 220. Number 10, Ricardo Smith, 205 from Toledo, Ohio. Martise Kimbrough as well from Lima, Ohio. And then you got Elijah Kollick, number 22, Elijah Kollick. And then finishing off is number 24, Tyler Stern Tucker, a senior, 6'8", 220 pounds from Powell, Ohio. So it's going to be interesting. If you look at that matchup, pretty evenly matched between these two teams. And the last time the Oilers played the Hillsdale Chargers, they saw an L in their column. Didn't do so well.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Brandon. Last time these guys played, the Oilers were defeated by 15 points to the Chargers. I would expect the Oilers to come out tonight and show some good effort here in Croy and come out with a big W.
And if you take a look at last week, or actually on Monday, the Oilers took on Walsh. And during that game, the Oilers, that went to the last second. But the only problem with that game was they were leading by 18 points at halftime, and they let the Walsh Cavaliers come all the way back to tie things up. And then, luckily, Martise Kimbrough, he missed his shot. The ball rolled around the rim, popped back out. Terrence Sullivan, luckily, was there to pop it back in, because if not, they would have dealt with another overtime situation.
That's right. The Oilers can't afford to do that here tonight. Got to get off to a fast start, really put the ball in the basket early, see some good shots go in, and then hopefully go from there.
And Hillsdale is a team that likes to work the perimeter. They like to shoot those long 3 balls. So tonight they have to make sure either a man-to-man defense, which I think they might have to try that with some help side to get those situations clear on the perimeter, and watch the corners against this Hillsdale team.
Absolutely. You got to run them off the 3-point line. Got to make them take the ball into the paint, and then let the chips fall where they may. Play good defense, and we'll get out of here with a win.
Now, if you take a look at tonight, last game against Walsh, Martise Kimbrough led the way for the Oilers with 24 points. And I have to say, we might be in another situation where Martise Kimbrough is going to have the ball in his hands.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's no secret the Oilers go as Martise goes, and he's a big factor tonight. He's going to have to make shots and play good defense.
Well, we're getting ready for tip-off, so Hillsdale wearing those blue jerseys with the white numerals, and for the Oilers wearing the white jerseys with the orange numerals and black trim. And starting tip-off, I would assume Tyler Stern Tucker would start. And also Tyler came back from a shoulder injury against Walsh, and we'll see how he holds up tonight.
Yeah, first game back. Tyler's a senior. I would expect him to come back and play good tonight.
So Nick Archer and Stern Tucker, or like how we like to call him, is TST. So TST against Archer, and Hillsdale wins the tip. Coming away with it is Badowski. Badowski with the ball, getting guarded by Ricardo Smith. Nice pick set up there. Sullivan takes over, and there's that help side defense with man-to-man. Trying to work that perimeter against them. Back to Badowski. Now with it is Nevue. Nevue going with the left hand. Nice rebound there by Sullivan.
Great start on defense for the Oilers. Here we go back down the court.
Sullivan at the top of the key, gives off to Kimbrough on the left wing. He wants to drive baseline, goes with the left hand, and finishes it off. Ball rolls around the rim, makes it 2-0.
Great move by Martise. Great start for the Oilers to get him going.
Badowski on the left wing, puts it back up top to Smith. Smith over to Lowry. Lowry will take the jumper and gets the jumper, so we're all tied up 2-2.
Tough shot. I think the Oilers will live with that, though.
Sullivan at the top, gives off to Tyler Stern Tucker. He wants to drive, stops his momentum at the elbow, can't finish it off. Ball hits the top of the rim. Rebound comes away to Archer. Nevue over to Lowry, back up top to Smith. Now it gives off to Badowski, goes baseline, almost gets swatted away by Smith, rebound comes away to the Chargers. Badowski puts it back up and in.
Yeah, it's a good defensive possession by the Oilers. Just got caught napping on the offensive board.
Sullivan on that left wing. Wants to drive base, but doesn't. Gives back out to TST. TST will drive up the lane, go to the basket, and finish it off.
Strong move there by TST, going all the way to the rim.
Basket, but they blew a whistle. It might be for an injured player, and it does. It's going to be Nick Archer. He's going to walk off, and they're going to take a look at him. He does have a brace on his left knee.
We'll have to watch that going forward, see if it hinders him at all. Big loss for the Chargers if he can't come back.
4-4, 18 minutes and 16 seconds left in the first period. Oilers going back to that man-to-man defense. Help side. Needview does give off to Smith. Smith for the substitution. They bring in Nick Zarnowski, and driving to the basket was Lowry. Couldn't finish it off. Rebound comes away to the Oilers. And Collick, he moved his pivot, but the referees didn't see that.
He got away with a walk there.
And Sullivan drains it from downtown. And
Big shot.
7-4.
Big shot there by Terrence Sullivan. He's a good shooter from out there.
Back up top to Smith. Driving down low is Zarkowski, and shooting the three ball was Badowski. Couldn't finish it off. Collick with the reverse laying on the right side, and he gets it up and in, 9-4.
Oilers caught the Chargers napping on that one. Found Elijah down the court for an easy layup on the backside.
Needview over to Smith on that left wing. Back to Needview, going down low to Zarkowski. Zarkowski goes for that little floater and gets it in.
Yeah, it's a tough shot. It's good defense by Tyler, but a better move by the Charger.
9-6, fast pace already in the beginning minutes of this one. TST trying to drive, but he moves his pivot foot with him.
Yep, shuffled his shoes on that one. First turnover by the Oilers.
Substitution comes in, and that's a good sign for the Chargers. Nick Archer comes back after walking off.
And you know, we said in the opening the Oilers got to run them off the three-point line, but so far they've been getting way too many touches easy in the paint, just like this one.
Fake the three by Smith. Going down low was Needview, and that gets kicked out of bounds. Remains Chargers ball. And they are sticking to that man-to-man defense, but the only problem is, like you said, down low, they're definitely getting in the paint and getting those baskets. They're doing their job of working that perimeter, but it's going to be interesting to see how they fix that.
Yeah, Oilers not switching on the screens as well as they'd like to. Getting deep post position are the Chargers.
So backing down was Archer. He couldn't finish it off. Steal by the Oilers. Kimbrough with the ball. Sullivan at the top. Sullivan drives, gives off to Kimbrough in the corner on the left side and drains it.
Martise off to a hot start here tonight. That's the second bucket already. He's got 5.
12-6. The Oilers on top by 6. Smith gives off to Archer. Archer now over to Lowry. Back to Smith on that corner. He wants to drive on Sullivan, and he'll get fouled. Oh, instead, it's not going to be a foul or reaching. Instead, they'll call the travel.
Yeah, the Oilers get a break there. Should have been a foul on Terrence Sullivan, but instead they get the travel. Break for the Oilers there.
All right, well, that's immediate timeout. 12-6, the Oilers on top of the Hillsdale Chargers. You're watching Oilers basketball here on UFTV.
Why do I choose Union Bank? Because they understand that I work hard for my money and deserve a reward, like Everyday Rewards Checking, a checking account that rewards you with a refund on your ATM charges. Plus, you can get paid, cash rewards, or great interest rate rewards just for using your debit card or paying a bill online, right from your phone or tablet. Stop by the Union Bank today and ask about Everyday Rewards Checking, or visit us online. Your community bank. Union Bank. Member FDIC.
It's not always easy being a dad.
Do you have panda asthma too? Does that run in the family? This is the home of the most priceless kung fu artifacts.
But when you make an effort...
Dad, we're not supposed to touch anything. Oh, sorry. Go long, son!
It's always worth it.
Whoa!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact. on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
I am gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
All right, and welcome back out to Croy Gymnasium. The Oilers on top, 12-6. And if we haven't done it already, my name is Brandon Emsweller. Alongside me for color commentary is Mac Williams. And Oilers with the ball right now. Ricardo Smith gives off to Collick. We had some substitutions, so Collick is in the game. No, actually we didn't. Oilers didn't change anything. Neither did Hillsdale.
Coach Ernst, I think, wants to stick with this lineup. Getting pretty hot right now.
Martise with the ball on that right wing. Puts it back up top to Sullivan. He's got to shoot the shot. And shooting from no man's land from downtown is Terrence Sullivan.
Oilers shooting it well right now. Martise has hit 2 shots. Terrence hit 2. Oilers off to a nice start offensively.
Up top is Smith. Gives back off to Nevue. In for... They actually do have a substitution for the Chargers. Niego is in now. Archer with that little back shot.
Bad shot there.
Sullivan at the top gives off to Ricardo Smith. He wants to drive, goes for the floater. Off the glass on the left side, and that's good for 2.
Pretty shot there by Ricardo. Nice move.
17-6. Oilers trying to roll against this Hillsdale team. A shot by Smith at the top of the arc is no good, and now Hillsdale is just throwing up shots.
Absolutely, taking bad shots, and here we have a turn by TST.
Tyler Stern Tucker off the alley-oop, and he says goodnight, Findlay, at the beginning with 14:36 left in the first period. 19-6. Hillsdale takes the timeout.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful play there, throwing it up to TST, who throws the hammer down.
All right, we'll take a short break after that big alley-oop. You are watching Oilers basketball here on UFTV.
Underwriting provided by Heavenly Pizza, 1404 North Main Street, Findlay, 419-423-7494. UF students get 10% off with ID. UFTV is your university and community TV station.
Well, a big alley-oop pass there by the Oilers to get it to Tyler Stern Tucker. I thought I was watching the Cavaliers play for a second.
Yeah, absolutely. That play getting the crowd here at Croy on their feet, and the gym's rocking right now.
Aaron Oveshire's in for the game right now, as well as Katwan Singleton for the Oilers.
And some good defense there by Aaron Overheiser there down on the block.
And Smith is in for the Oilers as well. Chargers take this one away, and an easy dunk for Sarnowski.
Yeah,
that's not what the Oilers wanted.
Yeah, a little bit of bad luck there. The Oiler defender just fell down in the backcourt.
Sullivan trying to get it to Kimbrough. Kimbrough fakes the 3, but will now take the 3, goes in and out. Rebound comes away to Zarkowski. Lowry with the ball at the top. He will give off over to Niego. Over to Cordes. And at the top is Niego, and he drains that 3 ball.
Nice set there by the Chargers. Good offense.
Smith at the top. Sullivan setting that pick up. Gets it over to Singleton. Singleton on that left wing. Now gives over to Overmeyer. And going right to the basket is Martise Kimbrough with the left hand and 1.
Yeah, pretty play there. Martise cut back door. Defender never saw him. Got right to the rim for the easy one and the foul.
His first, team first.
And if I can say this, the crowd is definitely electric tonight. Substitutions do come in for Chargers. And they bring in Ryan Badowski to replace Jake Cordes.
By far one of the Oilers' best starts this year offensively. 21 points in the first 7 minutes of this ball game. Really rolling on offense. See if we can get the defense short up there down to the post, and we'll be rolling.
Substitutions come in. They break out Martise Kimbrough and Terrence Sullivan to give them a little bit of a break. Does get it into Niego. Niego at the top. Then guarded by Colley. Going down low to Zarkowski, and Zarkowski goes for that floater again, can't finish.
Yeah, the Oilers playing good defense. I think the Chargers think they're going to hit a couple of those, but so far they really haven't gone down for them.
Smith at the top, gives off to Singleton. Singleton trying to call TST over. He does. He gets it to the top. TST backs down, goes to the free throw line, does get back off to Singleton. Overshire calling it down low, goes baseline, gets guarded by two people, can't get the rebound. Rebound comes away to the Chargers.
Yeah, good play there by Overheiser. Thought he got fouled, but hey, that's the way it goes.
Lowry going down low to Zarkowski, throws it back up top. Zarkowski drives, dishes it out to Zarkowski for the jumper and drains it.
Yep, easy shot there by the Chargers. Yep, absolutely, easy shot there.
Smith at the top, finds Collig. Well, tried to find Collig. That wheel didn't really work out for him. Gets it to Overshire. Overshire trying to back down, gets it over to Collig on that right wing. Stops his momentum, slide his feet a little bit. Luckily, they didn't call that. Singleton getting guarded by Markowski. Trying to get it to Overshire, and the ball gets taken away by Niego.
Yeah, careless pass there. Not what Charlie Ernst wants from his ball club.
Badowski gives off to Lowry, now over to Niego. Badowski trying to call for it on that right wing. Instead, they go to Lowry. Man-to-man defense being shown by the Oilers. 22-13 is the score, 11:40 left in the first period. Lowry calling for that pick, gets taken up by Tyler Stern-Tucker. Smith trying to guard. And nice job by TST keeping his hands straight up on that three-pointer.
Yeah, bad job by Aaron Overheiser, though. Can't let a guy get an offensive rebound like that, especially from a deep three.
Badowski will take the three. I think Singleton got a little bit on it. Instead, Badowski sinks the three ball.
Yeah, that was a nice shot by him. Good defense, just a better shot.
22-16 is the score. Oilers still on top of the Chargers. Collig on that left wing. He wants to drive up the middle. He'll stop towards that free throw line. Can't finish it off. Hits right off the back of the rim.
Yeah, the Oilers having a couple bad possessions here in a row. Had a turnover and then a couple missed shots. Got to get back on track.
Badowski on the left wing. Tries to drive. Throws it back up top to Bear. And shooting a long three ball is Diego, and that will go out of bounds. And we go into immediate timeout, 22-16, Oilers on top of the Chargers. You are watching Oilers basketball on UFTV.
Why do I choose Union Bank? Convenience. At work, home, or out and about. I can check my balance from my smartphone, laptop, or tablet, and even deposit a check. I'll find convenient locations all across the region with a staff who cares. From my community and a great network of ATMs, so there's always one close by. Visit theubank.com and see just how convenient your community bank is for you. Thank you, Omar. Member FDIC. Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Hey, welcome back to Troy Gymnasium. 22-16 is your score. Oilers on top of the Chargers, and they get the ball back, but luckily they had that immediate timeout.
Yeah, the Oilers really looked frazzled there for a couple possessions. Great to get the ball back, have a good possession, and hopefully extend this lead a little bit.
All right, well, Kimbrough is now back in the game for the Oilers. Sullivan goes down low with a little squirm and twists on the left side and gets the 2 points.
Yeah, nice possession there. Good play drawn up by Coach Ernst on that one. Getting Terrence Sullivan cutting right into the block for an easy shot.
All right, well, up top is Bear. Gets it off to Lowry, now over to Lowry. We actually got two guys on the team named Lowry. Bear looking down low to Lowry on the baseline. Fumbles the ball and should go out of bounds and will be Oilers' ball. Substitution comes in, and that's going to be Neville.
Yeah, good defense there by the Oilers. Got a hand on the ball, active hands, sign of a good team right there.
The 20, Rick Smith.
And Smith will come back in for the Chargers. And this is the rotation that I think the Oilers have to be a little bit worried about. This is the one that kind of got a lot of those points down low.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to play strong.
Smith on that left wing. Sullivan tried to go baseline, but luckily Stern Tucker was there. Gives off to Kimbrough. He'll shoot the jumper. His foot was on the line. And rebound comes away to the Chargers.
Yeah, I think the Oilers will live with that shot. Martise is a good enough shooter.
Ricardo. Back over to Smith. Gives off to Archer. Archer over to Naveview, and they're going to call foul. Illegal screen. Against the
20, Rex Smith. His first team, second.
Yeah, against Rex Smith on that one. Just came out, wasn't set. Obvious call on that one.
All right, Smith gives off to Sullivan for a quick jumper and just drains it. It's just these quick decisions that are killing the Chargers right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And a good one right there by Taryn.
So getting it over to Badowski. Badowski going down low to Lowry. Gets it off to Smith, now over to Naveview. Back to Badowski. He'll drive baseline. It just gets denied down low by Smith. And rebound comes away by Kylick out of that craziness. He'll drive baseline, and he's going to have to throw it back up to Sullivan. They'll set up the offense.
Yeah, great possession on defense there by the Oilers. Getting a lot of hands on the balls. Got a nice block there in the paint, and off we go.
Martise got to be careful with not getting that one knocked out of bounds. Almost fumbled that one out. But nice handles. Collig with the fast trigger. It drinks the three ball on the left side. And that's a three for the Oilers.
Man, what a gutsy shot by Elijah. Man, right in his face, and he dots the eye.
30-16. Oilers on top, demanding lead against this Hillsdale team. Archer passes it over to Badowski. Badowski looking down low to Archer. I think Archer was supposed to get that pass. He wasn't even looking for it. Instead, he gets it off to Naveview.
Yeah, absolutely. Oilers flying around right now on defense, playing well.
Smith, and the shot clock will expire. Archer does get it off. Instead, he misses it. Rebound comes away to Smith.
That's the kind of possession Coach Hirsch is looking for.
And that was a nice give-off, no-look pass to TST. And he could have gone in for the slam on the left side.
Yeah, I think that pass was a little too good. It just went right through his hands. Just clumsy right there by Tyler.
All right, well, it's a media timeout here. 29-16, Oilers on top of the Hillsdale Chargers. You are watching men's basketball here on UFTV.
To discuss career and life advice.
Underwriting provided by Heavenly Pizza, 1404 North Main Street, Findlay, 419-423-7494. UF students get 10% off with ID.
Wasbro Rental Property is a family-owned and operated residential rental company serving Findlay, Ohio and the surrounding areas. For over 50 years, Wasbro Rental Property has helped residents find the right apartment to fit their needs. Go to theshermanhouse.net for more rental information or call 419-423-8321. Wasbro is proud to support the Findlay Media Network.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
UFTV is your university and community TV station.
And welcome back out to Croy Gymnasium. Out of that media timeout, Chargers will get the ball. 29-16, Oilers on top.
Yeah, and the Chargers coach here is lobbying the referee. I think he's unhappy with some of the calls they're getting right now.
Yeah, well, usually that's what happens. Over the years, sometimes the calls don't go the way of Hillsdale, and those situations just happen. I've seen that happen over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. And Croy is no place to try to get calls, that's for sure. The Oilers are great at home.
Well, Badowski gets it over to Smith on that right wing. Now back up top to Archer. And backdoor pass right to Naveview, and that was too easy.
Yeah, that one's on Ricardo. He didn't rotate over and give the help defense on that one. Coach Ernst got on him for that.
Well, Collig now with the ball. And they try to go backdoor as well to Sullivan, and that didn't work out so well. Smith was on that, so they give it back to Collig. He reposts up for Sullivan. And Collig will take the big three ball, can't finish it off. Rebound comes away to Archer.
Yeah, I think the Oilers can get a better shot than that. They kind of settled for that three there.
Well, actually, excuse me, it's Zarnowski. Zarnowski try to go down low to Smith. Nice job by Sullivan to deny that pass.
Absolutely.
Double team now on Zarnowski, and he'll drive and gets fouled.
Yeah, he got a mouse in the house on that one. Elijah got stuck on him. Had nothing to do but foul him on that.
And also something that I didn't notice, not a lot of fouls being called against both teams. This is kind of the second time we've seen a player go to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, the referee's letting them play a little bit. I think that's the way both teams want it. Let the players decide it on the court.
Substitutions come in. They bring in Archer, and they also bring in Diego. They got to be careful with Diego. He's been shooting those big-time threes from no man's land.
Yeah, got to get up. Oilers got to get up on him, take his airspace away, make him dish it off to a teammate.
Oilers do bring in Smith, and they also bring in Singleton. Get some fresh legs in there. Zarnowski with the free throw, and he makes that one. So 29 to 20. Or not. It'll be 29-19. So Smith at the top. 6:44 left in the first period. Singleton on that left wing. TST backing down Zarnowski, a nice little pivot move, hesitation to get it back up.
Yeah, that's Tyler's patented move down there. He gets that one step, does a drop step, and a nice jump hook there.
Badowski swings it over to Needview, and now Zarnowski, who's been a force down low really, coming off the bench for the Chargers, just gets another basket.
Yeah, that was a good move. Tyler played good defense, had his hands straight up, bodied him up, but he still got the bucket.
He has 9 points for the Chargers. Stern Tucker backing down Zarnowski again and answers back.
Back and forth we go. Dominant post players here on display here tonight in Croy.
Badowski swings it over to Archer. Now over to Nevia. Back over to Niego. Niego at the top. And Archer trying to get Zarnowski up. There he does. And Needview couldn't finish it off, but Niego came away. No one in the vicinity to get that rebound, but a nice job by Stern Tucker to knock that ball out to Singleton.
Yeah, Oilers very lucky on that one.
Sullivan just shoots the jumper and drains it.
Yeah, had a foot on the line on that one. Got 2 points. Got to make sure that foot's behind.
35-21. Oilers still on top of the Chargers. Very fast-paced game between these two teams. Badowski wants to drive right up the middle, behind the back. Steph Curry-esque pass.
Yeah,
what are you trying to do in this game, sir?
Reminiscent of the finals, tried to get a little too fancy on that one with the backdoor pass, and it cost him.
Talk about
out of bounds to
momentum's
Oilers.
gone wrong. Stern Tucker comes out of the game. They bring in Overshire.
33, Gordon Bear.
Sullivan with the inbounds pass to Smith. 5:16 remains, 35-21. Oilers on top of the Chargers. Singleton on that right wing, up top to Overshire. Now over to Sullivan, down low to Singleton on that baseline. Driving, trying to use his pivot foot, trying to find the best shot possible, but throws it back up top to Sullivan.
Good defense there by the Chargers, didn't let him get inside.
And now I think the Chargers trying to use more of his own defense to prevent these drives up the middle.
Absolutely. Terrence Sullivan with a nice move there, cutting right down the middle of the lane for two.
Niego gives off to Lowry. Lowry back to Niego. Now back up top to Barron. Niego down low to Zarnowski, who's been pretty good down low, but can't get that little jumper. And Singleton comes away with the ball. He wants a fast break. He wants to go right to the basket. Gives off to Sullivan. Now over to Kimbrough. Wide open on the wing. Can't finish it off. Rebound comes away to Lowry, and that's going to be a foul against the Oilers.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there. Martise wide open. Just missed a shot. You're going to have that from time to time. Just got to keep chucking up shots.
His first team's second.
Well, that is going to be Martise's. Well, actually, they called it on Overshire. So that will be his first foul, team's second foul overall. 4:15 left in the first. Lowry getting guarded by Smith. On the next dead ball, Smith will come in for the Chargers. And there's Zarnowski again, right under the basket. Getting those offensive rebounds.
Yeah, a great possession there by Trey Smith on defense. Really moving his feet, playing hard.
And a good eye there by Lowry to knock that ball out of bounds. And we're going to take another media timeout. 37-23. The Oilers on top of the Chargers. You are watching men's basketball here on UFTV.
We'll take the first run golf course half-court challenge.
Why do I choose Union Bank? Convenience. At work, home, or out and about. I can check my balance from my smartphone, laptop, or tablet, and even deposit a check. I'll find convenient locations all across the region with a staff who cares, from my community, and a great network of ATMs. So there's always one close by. Visit theubank.com and see just how convenient your community bank is for you. Thank you, Omar. Union Bank. Member FDIC.
It's not always easy being a dad.
Do you have panda asthma too? Does that run in the family? This is the home of the most priceless kung fu artifacts.
But when you make an effort,
Dad, we're not supposed to touch anything. Oh, sorry.
go long, son! It's always worth it.
Whoa!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
I am gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
And welcome back out to Croy Gymnasium. The Oilers up 37-23, 3:53 left in the first period, getting close to halftime. We're going to see if the Oilers can maybe shift momentum and try to get more baskets going into halftime and keeping. And I don't think Zarnowski's out there anymore. He's on the bench. They gave him a breather, but Zarnowski just being forced down low.
Yeah, it's imperative here the Oilers get a bucket, curb momentum. You know as well as I, momentum's crucial in basketball. It's important to take that momentum into the second half.
Well, Oilers with the ball right now. Smith wide open, will take the three ball and drains it from downtown in the city of Findlay.
Yeah, and I think he got fouled on that one, but the referee missed it.
Lowry at the top, getting guarded by Smith. Man-to-man defense being shown, more help side for them. Get off those screens. Give off the Bear. He wants to drive baseline, but they're going to call a foul against Overshire, and he did. He bounced right in.
Yeah, you know, Aaron Overheiser on that one. Didn't have his hands out, had his hands into the body. That's a no-break call for the referee. Got to be better on defense.
TST comes back in for Overshire.
Replacing Aaron
Overheiser. And they get it into Smith, and it's just an easy lay-in.
Yeah, it's too easy there for the Chargers. Got to be better on the defensive end by the Oilers.
And right now, Hillsdale's been pretty dominant down low on the offensive boards.
Yeah, we got to keep him out of the paint. We're doing a nice job of running him off three-point line.
Kimbrough gets it over to Singleton. He will take the shot. Can't finish it off. Hits the glass.
Yeah, ugly shot there. Not the shot that I think the Oilers wanted on that possession.
It wasn't an in-rhythm type of shot for Singleton.
Absolutely, forced
Lowry
that one.
fakes the jumper, gives off to Bear. Bear wants to drive, but gives off to Niego. Now down low to Smith. He'll drive baseline on TST. He does go out of bounds, and that's the right call by the referee.
Yes, nice job there by TST. Bodying him up, forcing him out of bounds on that one. Great defense.
Sullivan with the inbounds pass. 2:42 left in the first period. If you're joining us right now, welcome to the broadcast. The score, Oilers on top, 40-25. Martise Kimbrough driving up the lane. He did drag his foot, and they're going to call the travel.
Yeah, he actually got lucky on that one. He could have got called for an offensive foul using that off arm to push off, but instead the referee chose to hit him with a travel.
And luckily that was not called a foul against Martise. But 40-25, Smith will inbounds. They bring back in Archer for the Chargers. Lowry with the ball. Gives off to Smith on that right wing, now up top to Archer. Fakes the pass to Niego, and now a wide open three for Lowry. Can't finish it. Nice job by Singleton to get the rebound.
Yeah, the Oilers fortunate there. They left the guy wide open, and he just missed a shot.
And Sullivan wide open, no one on him. He shoots it, ball goes over. They don't call it over, they just keep it going. And Sullivan will drive with the right hand, and Sullivan says, good night, Findlay.
Yeah, Oilers got a break on that one. The ball hit the top of the on the shot clock, and the referees didn't see it. Good break there for the Oilers.
At the top, Lowry gets it over to Archer. Now up top to Smith. Diego trying to call for it on that drive across the elbow, but can't get it over. And now being forced to throw was Lowry. The ball did get tipped, so there's no going to be backcourt violation. And the ball will get swiped. The ball goes right off Lowry's leg, and the Oilers get the ball back.
Yeah, Oilers have active hands here to end the half. Get the ball right off his knee. Good defense there by the Oilers.
Minute 32 left in the first period. 42-35 is the score. Or, excuse me, 42-25 is the score.
This is a crucial possession for the Oilers. Got to get a bucket here, get some momentum going into the second half, and close the door on this team.
Ricardo off to Sullivan. Sullivan with 16 points already on the night. Smith back to Sullivan. Trying to set up that offense. He'll take the jumper towards that elbow. Can't get it. Nice job by Smith to rebound that one. And now Collig will give off the Stern Tucker to try to drive it in with the left hand. Can't finish it.
Yeah, good possession there by the Oilers, just didn't get the shot to fall.
Lowry tries to get it to Needville and can't get it, and a nice tip and takeaway by Ricardo Smith.
Yeah, wonderful block there by Ricardo. Excellent defensive play.
Collig on that left wing gives off the Stern Tucker. I'm surprised they didn't call a foul on that. That was a reach around by Archer.
Absolutely obvious foul there, but the referee missed it.
So now TST driving up the middle, backing down Archer, gives off to Singleton. He'll fake the shot on the baseline, drive his defender down all the way, does a little spin move, goes up, glass into the basket, 4-2.
Yeah, Cat Singleton there had a mouse in the house, got a guy smaller on him, just rose up and hit shot right over top.
20 seconds left in the first period before we hit halftime. 44-25, Oilers on top of the Chargers.
See if the Oilers can get a stop here.
Badowski with the ball, holding it. And you have to think Badowski will have it in his hand for the final shot. And that is correct. He goes for the two, can't finish it. Gives off to Archer, gets denied down low, and the ball goes out of bounds. 0.2 seconds left.
And I want to commend the referees on this play. They could have called a foul when that guard leaned into the defensive player, but there was no foul. The defensive player was straight up. Excellent job by the referees on that one.
Well, now Chargers will have to inbound this one with 0.2 seconds. Badowski trying to get it in. Does get into Smith. He'll put it up, and it will go in, but they're going to call it no good. Ball was still in his hands when the shot went off. So at half, it's 44-25. Oilers on top of the Chargers. We'll take a short break. You are watching men's basketball here on UFTV.
Logistics is proud to support UFTV and the Findlay Media Network. Watch Oiler basketball live on uftv.findlay.edu.
Why do I choose Union Bank? Because they understand that I work hard for my money and deserve a reward, like everyday rewards checking. A checking account that rewards you with a refund on your ATM charges. Plus, you can get paid, cash rewards or great interest rate rewards just for using your debit card or paying a bill online, right from your phone or tablet. Stop by the Union Bank today and ask about everyday rewards checking, or visit us online. Your community bank. Union Bank. Member FDIC.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
So they say it's a man's world? Well, I don't see anybody's name on it. While they were out doing their thing, we slowly changed all that. We changed all that. Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Underwriting provided by Heavenly Pizza, 1404 North Main Street, Findlay, 419-423-7494. UF students get 10% off with ID.
Wasbro Rental Properties is a family-owned and operated residential rental company serving Findlay, Ohio and the surrounding areas. For over 50 years, Wasbro Rental Property has helped residents find the right apartment to fit their needs. Go to theshermanhouse.net for more rental information or call 419-423-8321. Wasbro is proud to support the Findlay Media Network.
And hopefully fill a couple spots, but nobody has to play immediately on the offense in 2017. If someone comes in offensively and plays, it's going to be an extreme bonus for us.
And we'll talk briefly about your defense as well. I thought this was a big improvement this year. You really did a nice job in a number of games, and certainly statistically much better this year. And you have an outstanding freshman in Isaac Miles. He had 45 tackles. You do lose a little more on defense this year, but certainly a lot of talent coming back.
Yeah, we lose a few more kids on defense than we do on offense, but defensively, the progression from year 1 to year 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 and to 6 has been an upward trend. And finally, defensively, I thought towards the end of the year we played some really good defense. I mean, we held Ferris State to 20-some points, 20 points, I think, and I think it's the first team in 5 years that had held Ferris to 20 points or less. So, and we held Grand Valley down in check. We blew out teams, Hillsdale, Michigan Tech, and Saginaw, and defensively did a great job in those first halves.
No doubt about it. Finished 6-5, and I've said it a couple times. Certainly one of the better teams we've ever had here at Findlay. One of the toughest schedules, without a doubt, if not the toughest. And you look at this recruiting class, and you got one transfer from what I can see, a kid, Jacob Hill from Syracuse, and he played at Syracuse, so we must be talking about a pretty good player.
Yeah, Jacob is a very, very electrifying, explosive player. He's got extreme great quicks. We're looking to kind of slide him into the spot that Dylan Blunk held for the last couple of years. I know that Dylan did a great job for us there, but, I think Jacob coming in has a little more ability maybe to break it into huge plays. So, we're excited to have him. He played at Syracuse, so here's a kid that competed at a very high level.
You got him listed as an athlete. You brought in 3 athletes in this class, and certainly when you bring in 2, 3, 4 athletes each year, it gives you some flexibility. And you guys have done that where you move guys around a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you might see guys listed at wide receiver. They end up playing corner. You got guys listed at tight end that might end up playing defensive end, et cetera. So, our job as a staff is to try to get the best players on the field, and you can't get stacked up in any position. When the depth seems to have too much at one spot, we'll shift them over. I mean, look at Dowdasilla, which I thought came on this year as a great running back towards the end of the season, but started on defense for 2 years, and I think he's one of the better running backs we have in the league. So
yeah, no doubt about it. Let's start with the defensive side of things. That's probably where you have the most losses through graduation. You bring in 4 defensive linemen and 7 linebackers. It's 11 spots right there, and some pretty good players.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with the defensive line spot. I think he got bigger up front and more athletic. I love Corey Henthorne and Tyler Glander, the 2 inside players. Remind you of a Kyle Skidmore, Ashton Elmore type kids that can go in there and make some plays and also hold up against the run, because you got to stop the run. On the edge, we got Drew McLucky out of DeSales, and anytime you get a DeSales kid, they're a winner through the high school career. And I'm really anxious to see some of these linebackers perform, because we did lose some linebackers to graduation, and I told those freshmen when we recruited them, you're going to come in and you're going to have the opportunity to play right away.
And we 6 defensive backs. We have quite a tradition of great defensive backs, especially since you've been here as assistant coach and head coach. Of course, we got one of those playing in the pros right now, so that must mean we know a little bit what we're doing from a defensive backfield perspective. But you bring 6 of them in, and interested to see what they do.
Yeah, the standard's set pretty high. When you put film on, you got to say, well, is he going to be the best defensive back in the program? And the benchmark is Harold Jones-Corte. And that's a tough one to hit, because here's a kid that started 4 years and made a ton of plays, and now going into his 3rd year as a Chicago Bear. So we got a couple guys that got a little ways to go to catch Harold. But, from a talent perspective, we got much bigger up front on both sides of the ball, offensive, defensive line, and we got some really fast skill kids. The Darryl Sinclair kid from Solon has an opportunity this year to possibly be the state champ in the 100-meter in Division I in the state of Ohio.
And offensively is where I'm most excited about just from the standpoint of he has so much back. It's an opportunity really to build depth. You bring in 6 offensive linemen, already an outstanding offensive line. And I think if we talked about the defensive backs with Harold, but certainly I think when you think about Findlay, you think about offensive line. We have had some tremendous offensive linemen and really good core group of 5 offensive linemen for a number of years.
Yeah, we've had an all-conference performer every year since 2009. And that's a pretty good streak. Only one other team in the GLIAC can say that, and that's Grand Valley. Chris Reaper, offensive lineman of the year. And now you got guys like Andrew Alton, the first-team all-conference kid returning. You got Christian Olmstead and Andrew Dickinson and Neil Davis as the 4 starters returning, and they're all young. They have multiple years left in their career. We got to find a guy to replace Jason Mulligan, and we got some guys in the program as well as the freshmen coming in. I know we recruited Eric Eldridge out of Southfield, Michigan, about 6'3", 350-plus pounds, who had a Ball State offer and committed to Ball State, and something went awry in the recruiting process, and he's a 2-star offensive lineman rated by Rivals. So, I mean, you got a big-time recruit there and a big-time size guy, too. I like his chances of possibly playing as a freshman.
Yeah, get the buffet line ready early there, Coach.
We need to slow him down a little bit. I think a couple pounds drop will make him a better player.
Well, I'm sure Coach Wagner will get things going there in the weight room and fix that. And then, receivers and running backs and a lot of guys coming back. Of course, Jason Moore, we talked briefly about him, but certainly maybe there's a few guys that might have some opportunities, but I imagine some opportunities to maybe even get some of these guys redshirted.
Yeah, and, better programs can redshirt their freshmen coming in. You look at year one, we played 14 or 17 true freshmen. This year I think we played 7 or 8. And we probably could have played less, but, ultimately I'm hoping to get to the point where we don't have to play any true freshmen. I think we'll have some on defense this year just because of graduation. Offensively, it's going to be tough for a freshman to come in and play. It really is, because we have a lot of depth and a lot of returning experience. And it's a good thing to have. It's a great problem to have where, hopefully we come out of spring with the offense intact and ready to move to 17. And, defensively, like I said, we're going to have some of those guys. We're going to need them come August 31st, 206 days from now.
Right on the money. And, Coach, 39 players, 4 states. And I think when people think of National Signing Day, they think of the big programs. But here at this level, you don't have the big budget. You don't have all the notoriety. You got to go out and do it yourself and kind of get your roll your sleeves up, so to speak. And certainly your staff has done that year after year to get that done.
Yeah, I can't say enough. I really can't about the hard work and the sacrifice. A lot of the staff married, have kids, and December and January, it's a tough month for the entire football program. The amount of time that they put in evaluating film, on the road talking to coaches and players and home visits and basketball games and wrestling matches and who knows what. And the thing with us, it's our philosophy from recruiting. We have to go out there and be like a grassroots campaign. We got to get out and see them, because the relationship building that our staff does is far superior than the rest of the staffs. And that's why we're getting kids to come to us as opposed to maybe some of the other programs.
Well, a new start for us is we go out of the GLIAC and into the GMAC. And, Coach, we got a few minutes to talk about that a little bit and maybe get fans familiar with that, some familiar foes in kind of Ohio coming over, ODU, of course, Hillsdale and Michigan, Walsh and Lake Erie, some other schools that are in there already, Kentucky Wesleyan and a few others. But we're going to have some non-conference games I think fans are going to recognize.
Games, 3-point losses, both games, came down to the wire both times, and Ferris is a national top 5 team, and it'd be nice to get the 3 points on our side this time, and then we're looking for a third game still. We're still working. Okay. Brandy and Jim as well as myself are working at trying to get that third game, and then Tuskegee, Alabama, a playoff team, comes to Donnell week 4. Okay. So going into the conference, we might not somehow have the recognizable names like Grand Valley and the Saginaw Valleys or Wayne States, but we picked up some great non-conference, playoff teams. So it's going to be a tough non-conference schedule for us.
A tough schedule, league play, and then we change regions, and we'll be in Region 1 this year.
Yes, and that'll be a difference. If you look at the Region 1, it's not nearly as strong.
And welcome back out to Croy Gymnasium. It's halftime here. 44-25 is the score. Oilers on top, 19-point lead at the half, and I don't want to jinx anything or really anything like that, but the last time Oilers were up at 18 against Walsh, can they finish out into the second half?
Yeah, it's crucial, and you know as well as I, the first 4 minutes of each half are going to be crucial for the Oilers. The Oilers need to come out, show great energy on both ends of the floor, put this team away early, and then head on into next week.
Now, I kind of am starring some players that I'm noticing that are kind of beating out this Oilers defense, and two of those is Naview and Zarnowski.
Yeah, Zarnowski's been a force in there throughout the first half. He's getting touches way too deep in the paint. I think Charlie Ertz is going to have a game plan in the second half to kind of get him pushed out farther away from the paint, make him take tough contested shots outside of the key, and I think that'll be the key to success for the Oilers in the second half.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if they would do this or not, but play his own defense on base. Play zone on base and play man-to-man on perimeter.
Yeah, you know, going to a zone, I think it would be a decent strategy, but I think you're also taking a risk of letting one of their shooters get hot from the outside. So I think Charlie's just going to come out in man-to-man and see what they throw at him here early in the second half.
And I mean, they're sticking with that help side defense, though, going off the screen. So it should be interesting to kind of see if they can work with this Chargers offense and make sure that they're not going down low as much as they are.
Yeah, you know, the Oilers got to shore up that weak side help off the ball screens. Ricardo Smith got caught a couple times napping, led to some easy buckets for the Chargers. We'll see if they shore that up here in the second half.
Yeah, and I can tell you this, on the Oilers side on offense, someone that's definitely has made their name here tonight is Terrence Sullivan, who has just been looking at defenders and like, I'm going to shoot it right over you, and I'm going to make it no matter what.
Yeah, Terrence Sullivan's having a huge night tonight, making shots from everywhere. He's taking deep threes. He's getting into the lane, finishing strong. He's having a really good night tonight.
It will be interesting to see how this Chargers team can work their way into the Oilers' offense and stop those shots from happening. But right now, it's just been too much of a force, and the Chargers can't come up with an answer. 10 seconds clicking away until the second half starts.
Yeah, the Chargers really haven't played that bad on defense. The Oilers are just making better shots. Sometimes you play great defense and you still get beat. That's just the name of the game.
Well, we'll see how this goes, but the Oilers will start off with the ball for the second half, and Sullivan will inbound this. Does get it into Smith. And we are on our way in this one in the second. TST looking for Kimbrough, doesn't go to him, but does get it off. Looking for Colleague, but his looks were not there. He does get it off to Sullivan, goes baseline, and TST takes it to the basket with the right hand.
Nice job there, looking to the weak side, finding TST for the easy bucket.
Naview does get it off to Zarnowski, who is in the game right now. He did not start in the first half, but now he is starting the second half.
Interesting decision there by the Charger coach. You wonder if it wasn't something off the court related why he didn't start, because he's certainly been a force here tonight.
Well, I think some of the issue is Smith. He's having that leg injury on his left side, so that could be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Sullivan on that left wing, spin moves, goes for another teardrop, can't finish it off. Rebound does come away to Smith, a nice job there. Keeping it away from Badowski. Colleague gets double teamed, does throw it back out to TST, now up top to Smith. He'll drive right up the lane, go for another teardrop, can't finish it off.
Yeah, I thought Ricardo got fouled there, but you know, you gotta go stronger to the wreck than that.
Now,
if you
he tried to go with that Euro step, and sometimes that's the greatest thing to go do, but sometimes that can mess up the rhythm to the basket. Faking the three was Naview, gives off to Smith, and Smith drains the three ball. Makes it 46-28.
Yeah, this is not the start the Oilers wanted coming out of halftime break. Let the Chargers just bury a three right there. Got to get something going here.
TST gives off to Kimbrough. At the top, will back up for the jumper and drains the jumper. And Martise Kimbrough once again.
I swear, Martise is a cold-blooded assassin sometimes. That boy can shoot the rock.
Going down low to Zarnowski. And that's an air ball, and that's kind of a shocker because he's been making those shots.
Yeah, ugly shot there by Karnowski.
Sullivan on the left, who's going to drive right up the lane, and off-balance body shooting away from the rim, and he gets it up and in.
I tell you, Terrence Sullivan, he's got every tool in the toolbox tonight. He is really rolling for the Oilers.
What is it like in Ricky Bobby when they said that Cal Naughton says, like, what is he, a shapeshifter, like Manimal?
Absolutely.
That's what Terrence Sullivan is.
Absolutely. Got a cheap foul there on the Oilers on Tyler Stern Tucker. Didn't move his feet on defense. He's whining with the referee right now, but the referee made the right call. Tyler didn't move his feet. Got his hands on the defender. Good call there by the referee.
So Jack Cordes comes in for the Chargers. Diego and Archer come in for the Chargers. Right now, Neveu has the ball, gives off to Lowry, getting double teamed by Kimbrough and Sullivan. He'll shoot the jumper, can't finish it off. Rebound comes away to Smith, gets popped out of his hands by Niego, uses the glass and gets the easy jumper.
Yeah, a little unlucky there by the Oilers. Didn't come down strong with the rebound. Let the Chargers get an easy bucket there.
TST backdoor pass to Colic, has to use baseline, but ball gets popped out of his hands by Archer.
Yeah, bad turnover there by the Oilers.
And driving to the basket right up the lane was Neveu, and he couldn't finish it off. Nice job by Kimbrough to get that rebound. And a big three by Colic on the left wing. And that makes it 53-30.
Absolutely, the Oilers extend the lead out to now 23, starting to blow this game open a little bit.
Lowry at the top, gives off to Neveu. He'll shoot the three ball as well, and he answers right back.
Yeah, back and forth here, trading threes. I think the Oilers will live with that shot, though.
Kimbrough on the right. Gets it off the TST, heel drive baseline, throws it up and gets it in for the nice two.
Yeah, Tyler Stern Tucker there thought about taking the deep two, but took another step in, took a nice little easy floater down the lane for two.
55-33, Oilers on top of the Chargers. If you're joining us now, welcome to the broadcast. Cords with the ball, gives off to Lowry, and the travel was just missed.
Yeah, got away with a huge walk there. I don't know how the referee missed that one.
Archer throws it back up top to Lowry. Lowry looking down low to Archer, wide open, but a great job by Colic to pop that ball out of his hands and go out of bounds.
Yeah, I think that's a product of Coach Ernst on that one, showing up the help side from the first half.
Well, ball sails out of bounds. That brings us to our first media timeout in the second half. 55-33, Oilers on top of the Chargers. You are watching men's basketball here on UFTV.
Why do I choose Union Bank? Convenience. At work, home, or out and about. I can check my balance from my smartphone, laptop, or tablet, and even deposit a check. I'll find convenient locations all across the region with a staff who cares, from my community, and a great network of ATMs, so there's always one close by. Visit theubank.com and see just how convenient your community bank is for you. Thank you, Omar. Member FDIC.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back out to Crow Gymnasium. 55-33. Oilers on top of the Chargers out of that media timeout. And that was almost a shot clock violation. Ball goes out of bounds, but they say it's off the Oilers.
Yeah, that's just unlucky there by the Oilers. Had three guys there for the rebound. Just couldn't corral it, and it goes out of bounds to the Chargers.
Miscommunication. Well, Chargers will get it in to Lowry. He'll drive baseline and go for the charge, and a nice job there by Singleton to keep his feet, but he is coming up really slow.
Yeah, I think he took a shot there where you don't really want to take it there, Brandon.
Yes, exactly. Well, luckily he got up, but he's going to have to call somebody to take him out.
Yeah, I think Cat just needs a breather here. Get his feet back underneath him. Do you think he took a knee in the wrong area there?
He'll come out. Hopefully he'll be okay. All right, well, Smith is in the game. Collick comes in.
Got an injury update for you. Ricardo Smith is out right now, being tended to by the trainer. Looks like it's a leg injury. We'll give you more updates as we can.
Well, that was a missed three by Kimbrough. Back up top to Cords. Cords swinging it over to Lowry. Now over to Archer, getting guarded by Overheiser. And calling down low is Lowry. He's going to put it back up, and he gets it in on the right.
See if the Oilers can get a good possession here and get a good shot.
So 55-35, Sullivan just catch and shoot. That's what's worked, and it's working the whole entire time.
That's what I was just saying. The Oilers caught the Chargers in a zone right there. Terrence Sullivan wide open in the key for two.
Lowry gives off to Niego. Niego up top, over to Lowry on the left side. Goes down low to Archer, and a foul will be called against Overheiser.
Yeah, another, it looks like Ricardo Smith is back on the bench. Looks like he's going to be able to return to this game. Good sign there for the Oilers.
Good sign for the Oilers, definitely. You always want to make sure that one of the starters is good to go. And with those injuries that they have on the team right now, they got to be careful.
Absolutely. You know, you got two guys going down with season-ending injuries. Don't want to have anything like that happen the rest of the season.
Inbounds pass to Archer, gets it off. Gets it into Badowski. Driving is Smith on Overheiser, and he lays it up and in on the left.
Man, he is a tough customer, man. That was a nice move down the lane. Reverse finish. Nice move there.
57-37, Sullivan at the top. Gives off to Smith. Ball gets tipped out of bounds. And now Hillsdale is showing the force on defense.
Yeah, they're starting to get active on defense, which is a good sign for them. Oilers just need to match that intensity.
And I'm not mentioning Star Wars. Smith. Looking down low to Overheiser. Gets it off over to Sullivan. Catch and shoot once again.
You would think the Chargers would learn to cover Terrence Sullivan, but apparently they didn't get the memo that he's one of the best players in the GLIAC. He's got 22.
And you can't teach that. Sullivan and Collick double teaming Smith, and a nice job there on the defensive stance. Kimbrough looking down court, but just gives off to Smith over to Collick. Thought about the three, gives off to Sullivan, and he's out of bounds.
Yeah, didn't have good court awareness there. Got to be better than that. Had a foot on the line when he caught the ball. Bad turnover there by the Oilers.
And like I said, right now Sullivan is catching and just shooting the ball right away, and the Chargers are not figuring it out.
Yeah, they're just leaving him open, and as long as you do that, Terrence going to kill you all day long.
Archer off to Smith on the top. Over to Niego, brings it over to Lowry. Backing down Overheiser is Archer, can't get it. Rebound comes away to Kimbrough. 13-15 left in the second. Kimbrough looking down. Overheiser was open if he could have gotten to him. Instead, he has to throw back up top to Sullivan. Now they go down to Overheiser, and that was an over back against Archer, and they don't call it. Overheiser gets his own rebound, can't put it back up at the right. Puts it back up at the right, can't do it again. Rebound comes away to the Chargers, and that should have been called a foul against the Chargers.
Absolutely, referee missed the call there, but good job for Aaron Overheiser staying with that play, seeing it through to the end. Great activity there on the offensive end.
Archer gets it over to Niego for the three, and he drains the three ball.
Yeah, bad position there. Oilers forgot about him, left him wide open on the side, and he buries the three.
19-point lead for the Oilers, 59-40. Smith swings it over to Kimbrough. A nice pick there by Overheiser, but they're going to call a foul on Archer. So maybe the referees are just like, well, we should have called a foul on the last one. We'll call a foul on this.
Yeah, that one smells of a makeup call right there, but I can definitely see how he called it. It ran right into the chest of Aaron Overheiser, so good call there by the referee.
And look who's back in the game. Zarnowski.
Yeah.
And we'll see how TST can compare it up to him down low.
I think TST needs to take him outside, use his agility and his speed on the perimeter.
Collick takes the three at the top and drains it from downtown.
Elijah Collick now has 11 points, starting to heat up from the outside.
62-40 is the score. If you're joining us right now with this broadcast, welcome to the broadcast. The score is 62-42, Findlay on top of the Hillsdale Chargers.
Yeah, Tyler Stern-Tucker just got beat down the floor the last time, got beat to the rim for 2.
TST fakes the shot. He'll bring it back out. He'll try to drive up the lane with the left side. Can't finish it off. And Zarnowski, that was just good defense.
Yeah, Tyler Stern-Tucker looking for a foul there, but not going to get it. And we have an offensive foul committed by the Chargers. Nice push off there by number 2, Ryan Badowski. My apologies on that name there, Brandon. A little confusion up here. But, yeah, definite push off and an obvious offensive foul.
Well, off that foul, it's a media timeout. 62-42, the Oilers on top of the Hillsdale Chargers. You are watching men's basketball here on UFTV.
Wasbro Rental Property is a family-owned and operated residential rental company serving Findlay, Ohio and the surrounding areas. For over 50 years, Wasbro Rental Property has helped residents find the right apartment to fit their needs. Go to theshermanhouse.net for more rental information or call 419-423-8321. Wasbro is proud to support the Findlay Media Network.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
And welcome back out to Croy Gymnasium. The score here, 62-42 out of that media timeout. And both teams, it's more of a bloodbath right now than anything.
Yeah, the referees aren't calling much, but Oilers just got to play through it and be strong with the basketball from here on out.
And if you don't notice this, but if you look at Tyler Stern-Tucker's shoulder, he's got to be careful.
Yeah, he looks like he's playing through a little bit of a pain, but as a senior, you expect nothing less.
Driving up the lane is Lowry, and a nice job by Stern-Tucker to try to block that one. Zarnowski comes away with the rebound, and Zarnowski puts it back up in.
Yeah, the Oilers got to be careful here. They look like they're starting to get a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued. Look like they're running out a little bit of gas here.
I think right now the Oilers' key is to just slow this game down, because right now this has been fast-paced all the way.
Absolutely. Oilers need a good possession here with a good shot.
Sullivan calling for it, a nice pick, goes baseline, ball gets knocked out of bounds, and Kimbrough, I don't know about that one. It more looked like Naveview kind of knocked that one out of bounds. But yeah. Charlie Ernst isn't saying anything about it.
Yeah, I think we'll take the referee on that one. He's closer than we are, but I don't know. Looked pretty suspicious.
We
from
both
our
have glasses on.
Yeah.
Naveview gives off to Niego, and he drains another 3, and that's the same spot.
Yep, they're starting to heat up from the outside. Charlie's got to be careful here, getting ready to call a timeout.
62-47, and like we said the last time, Walsh, they were leading by 18 points, 19 points for this one at halftime, and they blew the lead.
Yeah.
So can the Oilers keep a concrete line of keeping this lead? Kimbrough will shoot the 3 ball, can't finish it off, hits right off the rim. Nice job by TST to get that rebound, and he fakes the 3, doesn't shoot it in the corner, but does get back to Kimbrough, can't finish it off. Sullivan trying to go for the rebound. It should go for a Charger, and it will go out of bounds, and will be Findlay ball.
Yeah, Martise got 2 open looks there, just couldn't hit him. As good a shooter he is, that's pretty rare. You're kind of disappointed when he doesn't make the shot.
Well, Colleague will inbounds this one for the Oilers with 10:28 left in the second. Sullivan does get it out to Kimbrough. TST over to Kimbrough. He'll drive and throw it. No one was there, and it's going to be a backcourt violation. And that is not what the Oilers wanted.
Nope, the Oilers starting to get a little bit careless here. Charlie's got to be careful. Got to see what this defensive possession yields.
And that's what the Oilers have to do. They need to call a timeout. They will take the timeout with them. 62-47. You are watching men's basketball here on UFTV.
Logistics is proud to support UFTV and the Findlay Media Network. Watch Oiler basketball live on uftv.findlay.edu.
UFTV is your university and community TV station. Underwriting provided by Heavenly Pizza, 1404 North Main Street, Findlay, 419-423-7494. UF students get 10% off with ID.
And welcome back out to Croy Gymnasium, 62-47. Oilers had to call a timeout. A lot of miscommunication on offense by this Oilers team, and I think Charlie's got to talk it over. It's like, you have got to know where you're passing the ball at the specific time, because right now the Chargers are showing different defensive schemes against them.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just amping up the intensity level from the Oilers standpoint. Coming out a little bit flat here towards the middle of the second half. We've got to ramp it back up. I think Charlie's getting after him. We'll see the difference here.
Well, out of that timeout, the Chargers will have the ball. Lowry will inbounds this. 10-12 remains in the second. We still have a media timeout coming up on the next dead ball. They're getting guarded heavily is Nabu, and there's going to be a push off. Should be interesting. And they call it against Collins.
Yeah, Elijah got caught there. Got caught against the big guy. Didn't have any help and just had to push him.
With the inbounds pass, Niego gets it into Lowry. Lowry at the top. Gets off to Badowski. Now over to Nabu. Nabu back to Badowski. He'll take the three ball and he drains it. And what's turning into what the Oilers didn't want.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what the Oilers have to do if they want to make it to the postseason and beyond. If they want to be that great team that they can be, you and I both know they can be, they got to learn how to finish games.
And I mean, it's 62-50. What was a 20-point lead for the Oilers is getting washed away.
Yeah, they're just not playing like they were in the first half. On the defensive end of the floor, they're getting beat and getting caught in mismatches that aren't favorable to them, and they're having to foul or leaving people wide open for threes. Not good defense by the Oilers.
Maybe they'll figure it out after this timeout, but actually the timeout was taken by Hillsdale.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to get his defense set up, get the press set up as they're coming here for a full court press and see if they can get the Oilers to turn the ball over.
62-50. What was a 20-point lead is now a 12-point lead for the Oilers. They do get it in. Sullivan with the ball. Pressure. They did try to show that pressure, but backed off right away. So Smith at the top. Gives off the TST, looking down low to Sullivan. Now will drive with the left. He does finish it off, but it's called on the floor.
Yeah, it's a good call for the Oilers, but if I'm the Chargers coach, I'm a little upset at that call. A little ticky-tack foul, hasn't been called all game, and they decide to call it now.
And that is Nick Zarnowski's first foul of the game.
Yeah.
Kimbrough. Over to Sullivan. And there some confusion again. Kimbrough at the top. Over to Sullivan. Trying to go down low to TST. They do get it down on Zarnowski, and Zarnowski rejected him down low.
Yeah, that was good recognition there by Taryn. Tyler Stern-Tucker had his man beat, just couldn't make the shot.
And now going down low, Zarnowski again. He puts it up and he gets it in. He has 15 points.
I tell you, Brandon, this is starting to look like Walsh all over again, isn't it?
62-52, a 10-point lead for the Oilers. Sullivan drives to the basket, puts it up and in, and that's what they need.
Thank goodness for Taryn Sullivan. He's the lifeblood of this team right now. Without him, I don't know where the Oilers would be.
24 points for Taryn Sullivan. And a foul would be called. It's going to be against TST, and that is going to be Tyler Stern-Tucker's second foul.
Yeah, Tyler just needs to hold his ground there. Had his hand straight out, but got him with the body. Good call there by the referee.
So Lowry will be at the line to shoot 2 free throws. For both sides, 14 fouls for both. 64-52. Lowry can make it a 10-point lead for the Oilers. And he makes the first free throw. And a good sign here, Ricardo Smith back in the game.
Yeah, that's big for the Oilers. Get some senior leadership out on the floor and some fresh legs. Hopefully he can contribute.
Makes the second free throw, back to a 10-point lead for the Oilers. 8:32 left. Smith. And we'll see how that leg works out with him.
Yeah, being hounded right now by the Chargers.
Kimbrough trying to work off his defender, goes for the jumper, and hits the top of the rim. Kimbrough having a bit of an off night tonight.
Yeah, that was great effort there to go after that loose ball, but I think you're starting to see the total of the season starting to take its toll on Martise. Little flat-footer on that jump shot right there. The referees are going to get together. I'm not sure what they're discussing. We may go to the monitor here.
Yeah. Well, the last game against women's, they went to the monitor multiple times on fouls and out-of-bounds plays. And whatever it was, whatever the head coach was asking for, got dealt with. And Chargers will have the ball. Lowry swings it over to Lowry and
got called for traveling on that one. Just shuffled his shoes. Good call there by the referee. See if the Oilers can get a good possession here. See if we can get some movement into the paint, get the ball down to TST or Taryn, get a nice easy shot.
7:59 left in the second. 64-54. Sullivan at the top. Goes behind the back, gives off to Kimbrough. Fakes the three and now swings it back up top. Sullivan calling it for down low against Badowski, but getting guarded too heavily. TST goes for the shot, and I don't know what the Oilers are doing right now, but that's an over the back call against Smith. And they're not happy. Martise Kimbrough comes off with he's not happy. They're not happy.
Yeah, if you're Coach Hirsch, you're all right with that foul by Ricardo. Good aggressive foul trying to get the offensive rebound.
All right, well, with that immediate timeout, 64-54, a 10-point lead for the Oilers. 7:39 left. You're watching men's basketball here on UFTV.
Why do I choose Union Bank? Because they understand that I work hard for my money and deserve a reward, like everyday rewards checking. A checking account that rewards you with a refund on your ATM charges. Plus, you can get paid, cash rewards, or great interest rate rewards just for using your debit card or paying a bill online, right from your phone or tablet. Stop by the Union Bank today and ask about everyday rewards checking. Or visit us online, your community bank. Union Bank. Member FDIC.
Ohio Logistics is proud to support UFTV and the Findlay Media Network. Watch Oiler basketball live on UFTV.findlay.edu.
Underwriting provided by Heavenly Pizza, 1404 North Main Street, Findlay, 419-423-7494. UF students get 10% off with ID.
And welcome back out to Croy Gymnasium, 64-54. And the Oilers are struggling right now.
Yeah, the Oilers really need to get something going offensively. They need to take their time, run through their offense, set good screens, be efficient on the offensive end of the floor, and really get a good shot here on this possession.
It's just they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And it's just common sense basketball.
Yeah, I think Coach Hirsch, when he reviews the tape of this game, he's going to be really, really disappointed in how they played in the second half, letting the Chargers back in this game when it looked like they had them put away.
Well, Badowski wants to drive with the right, and once again, Badowski gets to the rim and finishes it off.
Yeah, the Oilers are focusing too much on that three ball and just letting them drive right into the paint.
64-56, an 8-point lead for the Oilers. What was a 20-point lead is washed away. Kimbrough at the top, gives off to TST, looking down low. He wants to drive up the middle. He does, and that should be an and one, and TST is fired up, and he goes to the line to shoot one more free throw.
Big bucket there by Tyler Tucker. That's what you expect out of a senior. You got a big game here at home in Croy. You don't want to go out your last year and not know that you gave it your all. Great stuff there by Tyler.
66-56 is the score. Smith will sub in for the Oilers. I would assume it might be for Smith. And he makes the first free throw. Smith. Actually, they're calling it Colin. So Colin will come out. Smith will stay in. 67-56 is the score.
Yeah, I think Charlie opts for a little more speed and a little bit more on the defensive end here with Trey Smith.
Got to get those fresh legs in there. Lowry tries to split the defenders, goes with the right hand, and just finishes it and now they're just making these ridiculous shots.
I tell you what, we're trading buckets right now. Fortunately for the Oilers, they did have that 20-point lead. Otherwise, they'd be in a real hole.
67-58, Sullivan driving, and that should be a foul called against Badowski. And Sullivan slow getting up.
Yeah, the defender there fell on the back of his heel. I think he rolled his ankle a little bit. Looks like he should be all right. Looks like he's trying to walk it off right now.
Chargers substitutions 3, Nate Nephew. 15, Nick Archer.
Archer comes back in the game for the Chargers. Hopefully Sullivan is okay with that ankle. Kimbrough gets it into Sullivan. Over to TST, look down low for Ricardo for a check down. He couldn't get it off. Finds Kimbrough up top. TST fakes the three, look down low to Sullivan. Now Smith will take the three-pointer and drains it from downtown.
Big shot there by Trey Smith. Really needed that shot for the Oilers. Back up to a 12-point lead.
70-58 score. Oilers on top. If you're joining the broadcast, welcome. 70-58, the Oilers on top of the Chargers. Driving is Smith, and he gets it in the left hand.
I tell you what, Trey Smith, he came in, and man, he is dynamite. Hits a big three, comes down, gets the steal, and then goes all the way for the layup. Championship effort right there.
And this is what the Oilers needed. Fresh legs and a new mindset in this game, and that is Smith right now for the Oilers. Check down didn't work. Out for Lowry and shooting the three balls, Badowski, and he drains it. And now we're back again.
See, this is the problem.
11-point lead.
I was telling you, Brandon, you let these guys get hot, and man, it's tough to cool them off. The Oilers are going to have to score here to fend these guys off down the stretch.
Well, I believe this is the last media timeout, so we'll take it with them. 72-61. You are watching men's basketball on UFTV.
Why do I choose Union Bank? Convenience. At work, home, or out and about. I can check my balance from my smartphone, laptop, or tablet, and even deposit a check. I'll find convenient locations all across the region with a staff who cares, from my community, and a great network of ATMs. So there's always one close by. Visit theubank.com and see just how convenient your community bank is for you. Thank you, Omar. Member FDIC.
Because it was a dead ball. But Sullivan gets it into Collick. Over to Smith. Back to Ricardo. That pressure defense being shown by the Chargers. Sullivan on the left wing, wide open in the corner was Collick. Could have gone for the shot, but wants to keep the ball alive for a little bit longer, trying to use some of that clock. Smith. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. He's got to do something. Over to TST. TST's got to shoot it off. A three. And can't finish it. The three off. Just rolls off the rim.
Yeah, and Ricardo Smith learned his lesson from the last time. Was going to go up and try to get that offensive rebound, but realized he wanted to stay in the game, so he backed off.
Lowry gives off to Naveview. Over to Archer up top. Now over to Niego. Over to Lowry, fakes the three. Now he'll drive with the right. And that's what he's been doing the whole entire time. And a timeout is called once again by Hillsdale with 4:58 left in the second, 72-63.
Yeah, give Hillsdale credit. They're not going away. They came in here tonight at Croy on a mission, and they're sure proving it here in the second half, making up for that first half effort for sure.
More miscues being shown. More miscues being shown by this Oilers team. And he cannot let Lowry, he did that one time, do that 2 times, shame on you, and 3 times, you know, like what?
Yeah, Coach Hurts definitely has to address that here in the huddle. He's really getting after the guys in the huddle. We'll see here coming out whether they shore that up or they just continue to let them get in the paint. If they want to win this game, though, it's got to start on the defensive end of the floor. They got to get some stops and then turn that into fast break opportunities at the other end.
It's going to be interesting to see how they can put that all together, because right now it's just not clicking. And sometimes when Oilers teams get into that funk, it's hard for them to get out of it.
Yeah, you know, you got some of your best players. You know, we haven't really thought of Martise as having a big game tonight, but you look up at the scoreboard and he's got 15 points. and obviously Taryn, we know what he can do. I think it's going to have to be somebody like Tyler Stern-Tucker or Trey Smith that steps up here to win this game for the Oilers.
And I think they need to keep on going to Smith a little bit more because he's got those fresh legs. He's been on the bench for a while, and he's been contributing to the offensive side. Sullivan with the inbounds pass, pressure defense being shown by the Chargers. Gets it into Collick. Swings it across, getting double teamed. Nice job to get it across that timeline. 4:45 left in the second, 72-63. Gives off to Stern-Tucker, now back to Smith, and that goes right through his hands.
Not the possession the Oilers wanted on that one. Good idea, they had Taryn in the block. They just couldn't, for whatever reason, make that pass to the wing.
Well, Chargers come away with the ball again. Another turnover by the Oilers. Lowry on the right wing. Over to Naview. Naview gives off to Niego. Back to Naview. He'll drive on the left side on Smith. He'll put it up, can't finish it off. And a nice job there by Smith to keep his arms up and make that a missed shot.
I tell you what, Trey Smith has been the Oilers' MVP here in the second half. Made some really big plays on the offensive and defensive ends.
And a nice shot by Terrence Sullivan to get that change up on the right side. And it's 74-63, 11-point lead.
Yeah, Terrence got 26. I don't know how much more he can give, but man, he's giving it all today.
Lowry driving again. We got to be careful with Lowry, but shooting a three is Archer. No one there to get the rebound. You couldn't see any white jerseys down there.
Yeah, the Oilers fortunate on that one. Tyler Stern-Tucker got caught watching on the weak side. Watching what? I don't know, but he was watching, and the Chargers guy came right in and got the rebound.
All right, now is the media timeout. The score 74-63. Oilers on top of the Chargers. You are watching men's basketball here on UFTV.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And welcome back out to Croy Gymnasium. 74-63. Oilers trying to keep the lead in this one against Hillsdale. Oilers with the ball, 74-63 with 3:41 left. Kimbrough gets it across the timeline, but that was a gutsy pass.
Yeah, I took a risk there, but got away with it. Here are the Oilers now. We need a good shot here. Put this game away with this possession.
Kimbrough at the top. Off to Sullivan. He wants to drive. A nice crossover. Gives off to Kimbrough for the jumper, and Kimbrough gets the jumper.
Yeah, Martise finally gets one to go. It's been a tough shooting night for him, but finally got one that time.
76-63 with 3:06 left in the second period. Lowry trying to look down low to Lowry. Instead, he gives it back to Niego. Now he'll take the three-pointer. Can't finish it off. Rebound trying to come away to College. Can't come away. And Kimbrough tried to come in behind Lowry, and a foul will be called against Kimbrough.
Just not a smart foul there by Martise. The ball's, he had to go through the back of the Chargers player, and easy call there for the referee.
That's Martise's first foul.
and we now have no more fouls to give on both sides. Looks like we're going to be shooting some free throws here down the stretch here, Brandon.
And that's when it gets fun. Well, they take out Collig. They do get it in. Lowry driving on Kimbrough. Gives off to Niego for three, can't get it, and guess who comes away with it?
And Karnowski that time,
Karnowski.
He did his work early, man. He got his man behind him, and an easy put back there for him.
Having a pretty big game tonight for the Chargers. He has 17 points on the night.
I tell you what, he is the Chargers' Terrence Sullivan tonight. I mean, he is just doing everything for him.
And TST lost control of the ball, and that's another backcourt violation.
I tell you what, that's twice now this half they've had a backcourt violation. Just carelessness by the Oilers.
Chargers substitution 2, Ryan Podolsky. Findlay substitution.
Podolsky comes in and Collig comes back in. They take out TST. Lowry at the top. 2:19 left, 76-65 is the score. With the quick shot by Lowry, and he drains the three ball, and now it's 76-68.
Yeah, the Chargers just won't go away. Keep knocking shots.
Collig gives off to Smith, now over to Kimbrough. And right now I would work the shot clock if I were them, but you got to get the best shot possible, and a foul will be called, and that's what the Chargers will do.
Yep, now we start the foul game. The key here for the Oilers, you just got to make your free throws. You practice it day in, day out at practice. Just, you know, you got to step up and you got to make it.
Well, now Smith will be shooting 1 and 1. He has 8 points overall tonight.
And this is an area I think the Oilers can improve as they head into the tournament season. I think it's going to be vital that they do if they really want to make a tournament run.
Free throws are crucial. Makes the first free throw. Smith with the second one, makes it 77-68. Makes the second, 78-68.
Big free throw there by Smith. Puts us back up 10. I think that really just closes the door.
Just got to be careful because they're making these threes from the outside. Lowry gives off to Lowry at the top for another three ball catch and shoot, no good, and a foul will be called.
I think we got an out of bounds there up by the shot clock. It's going to be Oiler ball going the other way. Chargers substitute number 22.
Yep.
Jack Cords.
Jack Cords comes into the game. Ricardo Smith gets it into Sullivan, and they're going to try to foul again, and they will.
I tell you what, if there's anybody on this team that you want shooting free throws, it's Martise or it's Taryn, man. Especially tonight, the night that Taryn's had. Not sure that I'd be fouling him.
No. So he's at the line to shoot 1 and 1. 2 more fouls by the Chargers. We go into double bonus. Makes the first free throw and just adds on to his points. He has 27.
Tell you what, it's a good sign. Oilers are making free throws down the stretch of a close game. Definitely going to need that going forward.
Makes the second one, and now it's going to be 88-68. He has 28 points on the night. And Smith will come out of the game. And shooting the three as Lowry couldn't come away with it. Findlay comes away with the ball, and right now they're trying to play hot potato. And a foul will be called.
I tell you what, a great rebound there by Terrence Sullivan. I swear he was as high as a square on the backboard, man. He got up that time, didn't he?
Doing a Dwight Howard?
Yeah.
Dwight Howard from what, 2009, 2008?
Absolutely.
Robertson when he was super. Collig makes the first free throw, 81-68. Minute 29 left.
That's now 5 free throws in a row for the Oilers.
Substitution 12, Jonathan Wilkinson, and 30, Mike Travlos.
Jonathan Wilkinson comes in as well as Mike Travlos.
I think, Brandon, if he knocks this one down, I think this game is out of reach. Game, set, and match.
Takes the second free throw, 62-68. And now that makes the Chargers climb up the hill a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, 14-point lead for the Oilers. You don't want to foul, just want to play great defense here down the stretch and get out of here with the W.
Keep the hands up high and stay away from the body. Lowry with the 3 ball, can't finish it off, and a nice shot by Sullivan to get that rebound, and now it looks like the Chargers might not even go after a foul.
And guess who on that rebound? Terrence Sullivan again, man. Doing everything here for the Oilers.
And now we can just work the shot clock.
1 minute, time remaining.
82-68 with the closing seconds. Sullivan at the top. Just going for the shot, gives off to Kimbrough. He'll shoot the 3 ball and drains the 3 ball on the left side. And that's the icing on the cake.
Absolutely. Great way for Martise to finish. Great way for the Oilers to finish. Overall, a nice game here at Croy. Would have liked to see him play a little bit better here through the middle stretch of the second half, but all in all, a great win here at home. You know as well as I, wins are hard to come by here in the GLIAC.
And this is one of the most difficult gyms to play in the GLIAC. Sullivan will dribble this one out. There's still 20 seconds on the shot clock. And the Oilers will get a win. Timeout will be called by the Oilers.
Yeah.
Short timeout. We'll have some substitutions come in.
Just want to get some of the guys in, get them some playing time here down the stretch. Got Matt Ashley coming in. Also have Chaz George coming in. Good to see Charlie getting some of these youngsters in. You know, Matt Ashley had to burn his red shirt this year. Good for him to get some playing time tonight.
20, Chaz George. 44, Trey Buford. 30, Matt Ashley.
And you know, Brandon, as well as the Oilers have played here tonight, they're going to have to step it up coming up here next week as they travel to Ohio Dominican on February 9th.
And that's not an easy game. The last time they played each other, that was a tight one.
I tell you what, it was a bruising battle. You know, every point was contested.
And a three-pointer sunk by Matt Ashley makes it 88-71.
And the knowledgeable crowd that this Oilers fan base is, they know when they see a former red shirt knock down a 3, crowd goes wild.
And a 3 sunk by the Chargers, Mike Travlos. And now we can just dribble it out. And the Oilers will win this one 88-74. Expanding their win record in the GLIAC and overall. That was a great one. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we'll have an overall analysis of tonight's game. You're watching men's basketball here on UFTV.
When they take on the Ohio Panthers in Columbus. Thank you again.
All right. Well, let's not take a break. Let's just keep it here. Tonight, Terrence Sullivan was the player of the game, and that's not surprising. He had 28 points overall.
Yeah, not surprising there. Terrence Sullivan really did it all for the Oilers, rebounding, assisting, blocking shots on the defensive end, and, of course, scoring the basketball. Really good effort tonight by Terrence.
And not a good sign, Singleton is limping to the locker room, so hopefully he'll be okay for the next game. I wonder if we'll find out about that and a report later.
Yeah, you know, overall the Oilers really didn't play that well through the middle of the second half, but they really turned it up towards the end when it was winning time, and I think that's a good sign for this Oilers basketball team as we head into the home stretch of the season here.
Yes, and always when it heads into the home stretch, all the GLIAC teams really put in their all against the Oilers. And once GLIAC tournament starts as well, it's going to